Alright, this video is going to be about drugs, which you kind of have no idea how much I really don't want to do videos about drugs, because they're just so dime a dozen. They're everywhere. It's all anybody wants to discuss, and it's very disappointing to me that that's what we're going to discuss, or that I'm going to discuss, or that people want me to discuss that, because I had really hoped that what I have to offer is going to be from a different perspective than what's so widely available. And the drug situation, there's information everywhere, good, bad, and indifferent about that crap, that shit. And it just seems like, I mean, here, my guy started out as a really scrawny, skinny, sickly, shy, introverted, small kid with really bad scoliosis, to the degree that they thought that I was completely paralyzed from the waist down when I was born. I don't remember that far back, but I actually remember wearing casts on both my legs. They would kind of put them in a jig, and then the cast would set up and hold it in this uncomfortable position, try and straighten them, and all this other crazy shit. And I had the leg braces like Forrest Gump and the whole 9 yards. So I went from a guy that they said he'll never be able to walk on his own. I went from that to, what I am today. And I was like the last guy you would look at and think, this guy's got good genetics for building muscle. This guy could be a big dude. I was not the guy that somebody would look at and think that by any means. So I have that perspective. And then now, decades later, like almost 30 years, decades of training, pretty much overall from the very beginning. I am a guy that's 53 and had so many debilitating injuries and pushed through, and still to this day continue to push through, and still have this physique, so, and I'm still progressing it. So I thought I had a little more to offer, maybe in the way of just some insight than drugs, because that shit you can get anywhere. It's all over the place. It's all that our fucking passion has been reduced to. Now, I can't see you guys, but let's pretend I can. Show of hands. How many of you guys fell in love with lifting weights because you wanted to become a drug addict? If you have your hand up, you don't need to be in this channel. You don't need to be here. So I don't think anybody has their hand up that's here. And that's probably why we don't have the vast numbers that some of these fucking clear knuckleheads have on their channels, because, very sad to say, the common man, the common person, the general population, they're not us. The general population, even the percentage of them that would want to be us, won't be, because they don't have this heart. They don't have what it takes to push and do it. They aren't made out of what we're made out of, and I'm not talking about muscle. So anything, that's why the guys with all these views and these channels and these huge subscription numbers, I don't have an interest in that, because if I'm attracting the masses, to tell you the truth, this is kind of an exclusive thing. And I would like to get, out there and reach anybody that has an interest in anything I might have to say, and they might be able to benefit at all from it, or with me, or, whatever. We can work together or something. If it's positive in any way, then I think it's good. But unfortunately, that's not the majority that's out there. So I don't give a rat's ass about appealing to the majority, because the majority is, take a walk outside. Do you look like all these people? Come on, let's keep it real. No. And that's the majority. That's the majority. All the people on the internet, everybody plays these first-person shooter games and shit, and they think they're alphas, right? let's keep it real. Does an alpha ever refer to himself as a fucking alpha? Have you ever actually done that? Have you ever actually had to point out to somebody, hey, I'm an alpha male? No. You know why? Because a genuine article, there aren't any rules. There's not a handbook for how you must behave so that people realize what you are. Right? Let other people label. But I'm way getting off track. But you get the idea, the general gist of it. So that's why really, I don't really have a great interest in discussing drugs. It's not because I feel on the spot or anything like that. It's just that it's like, really? Really? But apparently there's a desire for it. I mean, you can't figure that part out for yourself. You know, so you're going to have to hear it all if you want to hear any of it. So the first part is when I started training, honest to God, I didn't even know what steroids were. I didn't know what an anabolic steroid was. Anabolic androgenic steroid. Didn't know what that was. Never heard of it. I only knew that testosterone was a hormone in my body. Didn't know I could put more in. Didn't know it was an option. I was a little teeny guy this fucking big around. All right? So I just fell in love with the feeling. I never looked at these big, huge monsters in magazines and said, I'm going to be one of those guys. I never, for 1 minute, thought I could be big. And I just wanted to get bigger. You know, just over a period of time, this is what happens. But we didn't know about this stuff. There wasn't an internet. There wasn't anywhere you could. It was a very cultish, closed clique. And I think that that's one reason why maybe it had a reputation and an image, and it actually was once I got a little bit further into it and met people, that it was more camaraderie and more of a brotherhood and sisterhood. It was more of a kindredness and a sense of cooperation and mutual support than you have now by far. I mean, yeah, you still have that in very small scatterings, right, of groups. But overall, for the most part, you don't have that anymore. But at one time, I think it was more that way because we didn't have anybody else. Okay, and you had to really earn your way and you had to really build your physique. I mean, it wasn't, you know, today a kid can just come out, jump right on the internet, go to a few forums, make up some fucking stupid ass name like, you know, 21 Gun Salute or whatever the fuck you want to call himself. And all of a sudden he's a part of something, right? And all the other morons that he's a part of it with, ain't none of them really us. They're just sitting in the cheap seats. They're spectators. It's fantasy, it's role play basically. It's bullshit. And so they can just gain admittance like that. Whereas in my day, and probably most of you guys, we earned our fucking way. I know a lot of you guys. I know quite a few of you guys, considering the numbers of people I have that watch, right? What I got now, 400, just broke 400, which is awesome. But I know quite a few of you guys. And the quite a few that I know are big, strong motherfuckers. And ain't nothing was given to none of you guys. Nothing was given to me in those regards. Right? We earned that. We did that. So if any of us got into anabolics, that was way down the road. It was a natural escalation, a natural development, if there is such a thing. Because we paid our dues with many, many years of training naturally. Didn't even know there was another option. Didn't even know there was another route. Never considered there's a way to do it, you know, that's going to be easier and faster, and you know, but that's what they think now. And so what they do is that they don't just take a little. If a little doesn't work, they take a lot. All right, I'll give you a perfect example. That kid, Big Natty Daddy, or whoever he was, like the 15-year-old that got famous because he's on a bunch of gear and he's on the internet talking about this motherfucker looks like a fucking flagpole. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that because I looked like one too. I looked worse. But he looked like a flagpole, and not only is he on, like, for one thing, he shouldn't be on any fucking gear. He should never have been on any fucking gear. He should never even known about gear. Why would it even cross his fucking mind? he was trying to lift weights for his health or to improve his self-esteem or to improve his, physical presence or his strength or whatever have you, build some muscle, wouldn't you think, what's muscle made out of? It's what I need to consume. And then you lift the fucking weights, right? You pay your dues. I mean, you work hard, you sweat, you bust your ass, you hurt the muscle, and it grows. That's what you're doing. You're tearing it down, micro tear after micro tear, and it heals. It's a bigger, stronger muscle, and it continues as long as you keep eating correctly. So at first, when things don't succeed the way you would hoped, and any progress is good progress at first, because you're not thinking miracles. You're not looking at, Dorian Yates or somebody thinking, I'm going to look like that. No, you're a little scrawny bastard, or you're a big fat out of shape bastard, and you just want to look better. Well, in your mind, what you think is better. You either want to be just a better shape, or you want to have more muscle, or you want to be stronger, whatever it is. You just want it to be what you consider better. You're not shooting for the motherfucking stars, right? You're just trying to see where it goes, and anything is considered, wow, that's awesome. Even we used to think little small progress was big progress. We'd be like, wow, this is amazing, right? So this kid, this big natty daddy, this scrawny kid, and I was scrawny too, brother, I ain't putting him down for that. But he's on not only like a cycle or a little bottle of test or something, he's on all kinds of fucking shit. I've tried this, I take that, then I took this, then I took that. And you know what he looks like? Nothing. He looks like a dude that doesn't even lift weights. So this is exactly what I don't want to play into, and I don't want these fuckers watching my channel. I don't want these children watching this channel and learning anything from me and thinking they can apply it to them, because the only thing I want them to learn from me that they can apply is real shit that's going to build real muscle that's going to last. All right? If these guys jump on a bunch of gear like this, they blow up. As soon as they stop the fucking gear, it goes away. It's not even real. It's never theirs. Now, when you train years and you learn out of necessity because you want it that bad, they don't want it that bad. That's why they don't train that hard. That's why they don't know how to eat. They just say, yeah, eat. They eat a little. Yeah, train hard. Yeah, they do all the stupid shit training. But those drugs, by God, they fucking read everything. They ask every question. They think that that's the be-all, end-all. And that's why I don't want to spread that. I don't want to feed into that bullshit. Because anything I put on here is going out to everybody. It's not like me and another fucking monster like me, 280-pound guys. Two of us are sitting here talking about, where we've been and where we're trying to go and what we're doing, right? And if you were a fly on the wall for that, you'd be amazed at how little we really are talking about drugs. We're really talking about macros and micros, which is something I even still keep learning. I never realized how important micronutrients were. But when I tell you guys this, that doesn't weigh heavy to you. It doesn't make you run the fuck out and start eating vegetables and things. Or keeping account of what you're eating vegetable-wise every day. Does it? No. You'll want to hear about drugs. And brother, I'm not putting anybody down for wanting to hear about it. Just explaining to you where I'm coming from. I understand where you're coming from, so understand where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from with all the fucking experience in the world, I don't feel like it's a positive thing to promote. And every man is responsible for his own weight. Right? Lift your own weight, clear your own plate. That's how you get it done. So when you got to look in the mirror at the end of the day, only you has to be able to judge yourself and look at yourself and live with it. And I'm not going to put something on here that just some fucking kid can click on and watch, and sure enough, everything I say just sounds like, Charlie Brown, the teacher, right? Wow, 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 that kind of shit. But if I say something about testosterone or something, that they're going to hear or key into. I'm not doing it. And that's why I'm not doing it. It's not positive. Now, if there was a way that I could weed through subscribers and I could put things up that only my subscribers could have access to, then I wouldn't mind so much putting something like that out there. But even then, trust me, you'll be disappointed. You'll think I'm holding back. You won't believe it. Why won't you believe it? Because the stuff that I take, and believe it or not, a lot of my friends, especially older guys, The actual shit that we have used and use, you're going to hear and be so unimpressed, you'll be like, what? No way. No fucking way. Well, why no way? Because other people don't get this big from it? Because other people are not using it as an ancillary. They're not using it as a part of a whole fucking plethora of things they do. They're making it the key thing. They think it's the key thing. They still are latching onto that ideal. And it's not. I built plenty of muscle before I ever knew what it was. I was just off for 8 months. 8 fucking months. And you ever see me really small? No. And I started this channel before I got hurt and before I took the 8 months off. And when I started back again afterwards, I wasn't on anything, hadn't been on anything for 8 months. I was coming back from a very severe injury. And I still had all that muscle. And you know why I had all that muscle? Because it was my fucking muscle. I weighed 240 pounds before I even saw a bottle of testosterone. You know, and I started out weighing, fuck what? High school I weighed maybe 140. You know, I went in the Air Force, I probably weighed maybe 150. Yeah, I was the fucking littlest guy there. The job that I had, they were all big monsters compared to me. I don't know how big they were really, but from that perspective then, they looked huge. Except for me, and then there was me. So when I discovered weight training, I didn't know anything about fucking drugs. But now today it's just backwards, man. And that's why it's being destroyed. And I'll tell you what else is going to happen. The thing that we all love to do is going to come under a microscope eventually. Every other sport out there, listen to me, all professional sports use drugs. All professional athletes, all true professional athletes that you see on TV and things, they're all using something. They're all using something. Now, you never hear anybody get caught using testosterone, right? You wonder why that is? I know why it is. Do you know why? They always get caught using something else, like Winstrol or even Deco or Masteron even, right? They get caught using those things. They don't get caught using test. Now I think they've got some kind of test that they can determine if you're on GH. I don't know how they do that, but I guess they can. But they can't find test. They can't find test. They can't distinguish it from your own test. Because you already have testosterone in you. They can't distinguish it. All they can do is look at other markers, epitest levels, other things, and say it's very suspicious. But it's not smoking gun. So, you know, and then every time they find somebody using something, they take everything away from them and they credit everything they ever accomplished must have been because of that. They're a cheater. Well, he just got caught. And the fans, come on, man. Hypocritical motherfuckers, they don't want these guys off drugs. Okay? If you think you want them off drugs, or if you think those people want them off drugs, they don't. People, you know, spending all the money, filling the seats, burning the TV up with their friends all watching the game, they don't want them off drugs. They want the freak show. They want 300-pound guys playing football. Go back and look at a 1950s era football team, pro team. Look at that. It looks like a high school team. Okay? When was the first guy that was over 300 pounds in professional football? You know when that was? Remember the guy, the refrigerator they called him, right? Is his name Perry or something? Refrigerator. He was the first guy over 300 pounds. Now, every fucking team has guys over 300 pounds. Many college teams have guys over 300 pounds. It's normal. And they fly up and down the field. And they're graceful. What do you think, we've evolved that quickly? Human body? No. But it's more popular than ever. So people want to see that. They don't want to go back to looking at a 1950-some era team play football. So if you really extinguished all the drugs out of sport and nobody cheated, right? There would be no audience. The fucking bottom would fall out of it. So, and then if everybody's doing it, it's not really cheating. But I'm way off the topic, so let me try and get back at what you really want me to talk to you about. My levels of test are already pretty good. Don't know why. It's just nature. I don't know why, but I can tell you some interesting things, and you can figure it out for yourself as much as I can figure it out. I've never used any kind of recovery shit. I've never used PCT of any kind ever in my life. And I've never used estrogen blockers. Never ever. Never ever. Not even when I competed. I wouldn't use the same shit, right? But I wouldn't use estrogen blockers. Never used estrogen blockers. Why? Just never needed it. Not real sensitive to it. Never needed any PCT. I've always just bounced straight back. Never had a problem. Not with libido, not with nothing. So, you know, and again, it's just like anything else, monkey see, monkey do. Now everybody and their brother, they got to have all that before they even do their first cycle. Because somebody told them. Never used Clen. Just tried it one time for about a couple of days and said, whoa, this shit ain't for me. And I'm fucking killing my heart muscle with this shit. Because there's a study out, there's been a study out since what? 80s, late 80s, that determined Clen destroys heart muscle. But you tell that to people, they don't give a fuck. They still use it. I don't use it. But everybody thinks you gotta have it. Everybody thinks that's what you need, right? Never been a Winstrol guy. Never. You know, certain things I've liked. Nowadays, as a mature adult, it's just test. It's just test. And yeah, that's something, but I'm at that age, you know, my natural levels, they're not what they used to be, okay? And everything's relative to an individual, all right? The range is considered normal. You can be at the low end or you can be at the high end and it's still normal. So wherever I've been, I'm not that high anymore. So I still probably have a pretty good test level. I mean, I kept all this muscle 8 months. But, or not this much muscle, but you know, you saw what it looked like. It looked pretty good. This arm was atrophied, the shoulder. It still is a little bit. But I decided that, well, I've been off 8 months and I'm still pretty big. Let me see where this can go. But then I realized after a couple of months that summer's coming and I got to get big again and get cut. And I don't have time just to do it like that. Not at this age. So I turned the test back on. There you go. Not very exciting, is it? And all I use is not much more than prescribed fucking, you know, hormone replacement therapy levels for test. Don't use GH. Don't know why. I would benefit from it greatly, even just small replacement dosages. Perfect candidate, would benefit greatly. All the tears I've had and the way that I live now to avoid tears is because of the low GH levels, certainly. It protects your connective tissue. I mean, I'd do wonders with that probably. Don't know why I haven't done it. Just stubborn. Just, I get set. Simplicity is like how I like to keep it. But I could use that and I should do it. But will I? I don't know. You know, I could benefit from it. Not saying I would look for size or anything out of it. I wouldn't be doing enough for that. But I would do, you know, just replacement amounts just to protect my fucking connective tissue. And when I started back recently, mainly I started back because I needed something to heal this shoulder. This fucking shoulder was coming along slow and it was painful. It felt like somebody took an axe and just chopped me here. It felt like a wide open gaping gash. You know, I couldn't even drive a car with this hand by itself. That's how bad it was initially. But now it's doing pretty good. It's still fucked up, but I'm doing shoulder presses now, which I didn't think was possible. And a lot of fucking doctors said, you're not going to be able to do anything like that without having that fucking thing put back together. So I don't know. I like to just try my hand and see what I can do. You know, I got 3 fucking herniated discs. But your back is such a huge complex of musculature, just like your knee, that your back can be pretty fucked up. And if you have enough muscle back there and you can keep that muscle going, it'll hold things together. And true enough, I am no doctor. I'm not giving you advice, I'm telling you what I do, what I've done. Knee, tore an ACL, complete tear. Took 2 years to rehabilitate. Did it on my own. No surgery, no repair. Afterwards, I've squatted 700 pounds. Have routinely squatted 550-ish ass to heels since I tore it. Now, am I squatting that kind of weight now? No, because I also tore a quad much later than that. So, not trying to tear another quad. That one snapped away at my leg. I didn't like it. It was very painful. Looked like hell. Looked like my leg was going to rot off. So, yeah, test, replacement doses, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to tell you right now, and you're not going to believe it, I don't recommend anything. I don't think you need. You do what you want to do. I don't think you need any more than 500 mgs a week. And I'm an experienced fucking guy telling you this. Muscle is kind of self-perpetuating. Like I've told you about the eating, like I've told you about the body resetting itself, about the weight, about the stress on your skeletal structure, about the body just knowing it's carrying that, right? And then you can trade some of the fat off for muscle and so forth. You think this is just some blown smoke? I'm telling you the truth. Once it's yours and you reset, your body's reset itself and accepted that it's permanent now, it's what you weigh. It's a lot easier to keep than it is to lose. A lot easier to keep than it is to lose. Sounds like bullshit? Okay, didn't lift for 8 months. Nothing for 8 months, no tests, no nothing, right? No real muscle building food at all. Didn't give two fucks about how much protein I ate. It was just all serendipity. Whatever I happened to eat had protein, and it's what I ate that day by accident, just because I felt like eating is comfort food. And I kept a hell of a lot of muscle. Hell of a lot. Surprised me. So like I said, it's learning experience, and you never stop learning. You just gotta look for the opportunities to learn. So there you have it. Big secret out, right? Not much. But like I said, I'm not gonna be the guy to sit here and tell you that, oh, I think this is the best shit, and that's this, and this, that, and back in my day I did this. Because I'm not trying to encourage these kids. I think that they should lift naturally. I think that they should lift naturally for fucking whatever it takes, as long as they're making gains. 5 years, 6 years, 7 fucking years, before they even worry about that. If it's their passion and they still want to get bigger, then maybe, once they max out their genetic potential naturally, then maybe it's up to them. It's a free country, right? You're responsible for you. Do what you want to do. That's how I feel about your body. And then, right, since you've never done anything, you only need a little bit. A little bit's going to be a huge difference for your body. Makes perfect sense, but is that what people do today? No. Is that what people did in my day? Yes. Why? Because it's fucking internet. You got busters instructing busters, right? It's kind of akin to, this guy's an expert on the Antarctic. Has he ever been there? Oh no, he's never been there. Well, he read all about it. Well, who wrote the shit he read about? Somebody that's been there? Lived there? No. Another guy that read all about it, went to school about it, and he wrote some books about it. Or he told him about it. You know what I mean? It just gets passed on. And that's what you got. Blind leading the motherfucking blind. But there are some good guys out there that have some information, have some knowledge. But like again, I'll tell you one more time. What's possible natural? What's possible just a little bit? Well, sky's the limit. Nobody knows. Who tries to push it? Push it and see. I'm going to tell you this though. All these people outing these guys that are fake natties. Who gives a fuck, number one? Number two, you worry about you and the next man worry about the next man. That's what I think. But I'm going to tell you bullshit, man. You cannot look at a motherfucker. If I see the guy is huge and he's fucking shredded, I'm going to figure he's probably on gear. You're getting into the realm of something extremely difficult. That you almost probably would have to be on something, I would say. And even then, I'm not going to say you have to be, but there's no genetic freak that can do it. But I'm going to say most likely, yeah, you're probably on something. But just these dudes that are shredded, and they probably on shit too, because nobody knows how to work anymore. Nobody knows really how to do anything without a drug, right? Christ, they take drugs in college just to fucking study. So, but most of these dudes that are shredded, they're small. You put a t-shirt on them, they fucking vanish. Why do they gotta be on something fake natty? I've seen guys, I have known guys, shredded, that weren't on any fucking thing. Don't believe it, don't believe it. I mean, I'm talking fucking shredded. Don't believe it. I knew one guy who fucking got leaner than I ever got. and he was totally natural. Now he was, you know, of course when you're that shredded, with no shirt on or whatever, you're gonna look fucking awesome. You put any shirt on him, he disappears in it, right? You're shopping at a kids fucking department, get him a shirt and put it on him, it looks like nothing under it. That's how it goes. So you can get huge, in my opinion, without anything. You can get shredded, in my opinion, without anything. Now, huge and shredded, then you're getting into the area where you're probably on something. But, you know, too many people underrate or underestimate what can be achieved with little or nothing. My vote is nothing's better. Nothing is the best way. Keep pushing the boundaries. Now, you start getting older, you want to go hormone replacement, it's your fucking business. Everybody does it. They've been doing it in Europe for 30 years longer than we have. Anyway, that's what I got to say about that. I don't know if I'll ever say more. I'll also tell you this, I don't do orals. I don't do any kind of fucking, none of 17 alkylated bullshit. Just don't do it. I mean, look how old I am and what I look like. I think I would look like this if I took all this fucking crap. You know, I may fucking croak for some reason, you know, precarious lifestyle, whatever it may be. You know, but it's not going to be from taking any of this garbage. You know, I piss, it's clear. If my fucking urine stream isn't clear like water, I get concerned immediately. Something's going on. What's going on? Am I getting sick? Fighting off some minor infection somewhere? Virus? What's going on? Something's up. Not enough water today. I'm very mindful. Health is number one. And I got a lot of issues, a lot of injuries, and a lot of things unaddressed, you know, injuries. But I'm just not that kind of guy. I don't run out and get shit taken care of like that. Maybe I should. You know, I have friends that get fixed up right away. I figure I'm this old now. How much longer do I need this body? Something breaks, I'm going to try and fix it. You know, gives me something to do. Anyway, that's it. I'm very sorry if it's disappointing. I don't know what you expect from me. I'm not a guy that's not my thing. I don't really look that good. I mean, I'm a big guy, but I'm kind of fat right now. You know, just give me 2 months and I'm going to show you what you can do, what I can do. I'm nothing special. You know, the only difference is I just kept doing it. That's all. I just kept doing it. 30 fucking years. It just adds up very little at a time. All right? Test. You want to take tests? Take tests. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Take everything you want. Today, everybody wants a trend. Don't ask me why. You know, take whatever you want to take, man. But we don't share that in common. I'm not going to be cheering for my, you know, my fellow compatriots. Like, yeah, take them drugs. It's not me. You know, do what you got to do, but I'm more like, yeah, eat that fucking food. Yeah, man, let's eat that food. Let's eat that steak. Let's eat those shrimp. Let's fucking eat that fish. Let's. You know, that's what gets my dick hard. I go to the grocery store. You know, that's what excites me. The eating, the preparing the food, the living good, and the weights. Just, man, the feel, the weight, the pump, fucking blood flow. You know, how you do it's your business. Okay, it's kind of like sex. I like sex. Most people do. How you do it's your business. All right, man, that's all I got. I'm sorry if it's disappointing. Let's get back talking about things that really matter. All right? Have a good evening, man, and don't give up, dude. Don't give up, and don't think that that's what it's about, because that's reducing what we do, and, you know, whatever. It's just one guy with one opinion. All right, man.